This is No Man's Sky version 4.0, the Waypoint Update. An overhaul of design and balance across the universe. Custom game modes allow players to tailor every aspect of the game to their unique playstyle, including survival, crafting, combat, accessibility, and controls. Meanwhile, a new milestone system, new collectibles, and improved mission content brings new long-term goals and challenge. Inventories have been overhauled and streamlined. Ships, weapons, and players have their level cap greatly increased. Returning players are welcomed by a new information portal with a summary of their goals and progress. Introducing hundreds of quality of life improvements, macro and micro. Relaxed mode brings a new focus on sandbox exploration for travelers old and new. Our journey continues.
Well, here we go. No Man's Sky 4.0 has landed, and as you can see from the start screen that we've got going on here, we've had a little bit of an update on the aesthetics and everything, which is looking pretty cool. So you saw in the video what they had to say about it, but we'll just check out the patch notes below. So No Man's Sky Waypoint brings a vast array of new features. For full details, please see the website. Introducing an overhaul to fundamental elements including inventories, milestones, cataloguing and game modes. Custom game modes allow players to tailor every aspect of the game to their unique play style. The catalogue has been refreshed and expanded and now includes records of core missions and stories. The journey milestones have been expanded and integrated with additional guidance for new players. Saves can now be renamed and auto-saving is more frequent to constantly preserve your progress. Inventory sizes are now much larger and have been streamlined for ease of use. Hundreds of quality of life improvements, big and small, have been made across the game. Hello Games has been hard at work to improve and expand No Man's Sky, and they hope we enjoy it. Well, let's dig into it because I think this is going to be absolutely awesome, some of the things that we've got going on. So, just have a look at the front screens and what we're going to have to do now when we start a new game, I think. So as you can see, all your normal creative survivals are still there, and when we click on it for a new game, we're going to have our normal mode, which we have there, a new relaxed mode. We've got the creative mode here. Community expeditions are going to be up top. We're going to be able to have a custom mode, which we're going to be able to completely set everything that we want to. We'll get more into that later. And then your survival mode. So the relaxed, the custom and the survival have all been rejigged slightly and everything. Well, to be honest, they've all been rejigged slightly because you're going to be able to absolutely customize this game. You'll see what I mean towards the end of the video when we have a look at that section. But this will set you off in like a preset. There's like 4 or 5 presets, and each one of them is one of these. So once you've gone into that, you can then, if you're getting bored with it being a relaxed mode and you want to change it to a normal mode, you're going to be able to do that. If you want to customize it even further onto survival or permadeath to really make it a challenge, you're going to be able to, which is going to be absolutely awesome. But for now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to load up my normal legacy save, and we're going to have a look to see what there is that's changed within the game. So let's take a look. A look at the inventory slots first and everything. So we'll start with the exosuit. As you can see, it's been split off into cargo and technology now. It looks like the main cargo and the bigger cargo that we had has been joined together, and it looks like we're going to be able to extend the technology slots. There's quite a few free slots there. Interesting feature that they've put in with it is that now you can highlight things like your raw materials that are in your inventory, high value items, consumables and invisible tech. So that's going to show you what you've got in each one of those, and then all items is going to unlock it for the rest. So that's pretty cool. So I'll have a look at the Starship next. As you can see, same kind of deal. technology's all at the top with expandable slots there as well. Looks like we're going to be able to extend our cargo slots as well. There's a lot more slots for the starships now, so that's going to be interesting to see what we can do with it. Multi-tool, only one slot still for technology, but it looks like we're going to be able to add another few slots onto the end of each one that we have, which is good, because I found that it was quite limiting sometimes what you could put. You had to have 3 or 4 guns. So hopefully we're going to be able to make the guns that we've got a little bit stronger when we're taking on sentinels and things like that. Exocraft again is now split off into technology and cargo, with a greatly increased cargo area and some more slots that are going to be unlockable for technology. Hopefully with the slots that they're going to be unlocking for each one of the technologies, it means that we're going to be able to add more of the same technology into those, because obviously at the moment when you try and group up too many, it can tell you that none of them are going to work because you've overloaded it. So we'll have to see what that looks like when we get going. And then last but not least, we've got the freighter. So it looks like, again, we've got all our technology slots at the top. Great amount of space there, look, to build upon that. Our main cargo slot's been extended. We're going to be able to unlock a load more for that as well. Same again, we're going to be able to break it down into raw materials, high value items, consumables and installable tech. Now we have got a greatly expanded extra places to keep things. As you can see, there's so much that I can unlock there, so much that I can unlock. And just to give you an example, this was the size that we were dealing with before. So you can see it's over doubled in each one of these storage containers that we're going to have on board of our freighter. So we're going to be able to have a lot more, which is going to be good, because I often find that I do fill up my freighter quite quickly, especially if I'm in building mode and I'm just actually going for it and I'm collecting a lot of resources. So there you go, as you can see, that's what they've done with all of that. It looks pretty cool. I do think that we're going to have to use all of the technologies that we've got here in our technology slots though now. I don't think we're going to be able to have our technologies in our main cargo like we had. So this is why I hope that we're going to be able to add more on like that, because as you can see, I've got 3 S-class modules there for that, and then the ones that are unlockable as well. Now I wouldn't normally be able to put any more on top of that, because it'd say it'd overload it. So hopefully that has bypassed that now, and we can add a little bit more to it. So we'll see in time when we get round to it. We're just having a quick look for now. But yeah, there you go, that's everything in the inventory. So we'll have a look at what else there is. Okay, so here we go, we've got the options open, we've got the discoveries tab open at the moment. There's the catalogue and guide, the log and the options. We're just going to see what's changed there. It all looks like it's had a refresh and a new skin on it as well, so I think that theme's carried over to everything like that. But as you can see, your discoveries tab is still pretty much the same. Nothing's really changed there. You're still going to be able to look at the planets and things like that. The catalogue and guide has changed slightly in its layout, should I say. You're now going to be able to pop into that to read up on all the different categories of things that there are. Obviously teaching you how to play the different aspects of the game. And then your journey milestones have changed slightly. They're all under here now, so we're going to be able to check these out. Look, we've got exploration milestones that are going to show you what you've done and how far you've got for each one. You're going to be able to pin the medals now as well, which means that if you want to focus on a specific one, you can. All the survival milestones, and then obviously for the Gek, the Viking and the Korvax, all the words that you can learn, see how much progress you've made through each one, what you need to focus on to achieve the highest level in each one. So that's streamlined that a little bit and made it a little bit easier to look at. Actually, it actually has made me feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to know which ones to focus on if I do want to complete them all, which I've always struggled in the past to sort of like work out where I am with each one. And this makes it a lot more easy to read, especially with pinning the medals and things. That's going to help loads. And then we've got the Merchants Guild, the Mercenaries Guild and the Explorers Guild. A little bit of the same look. This one's here not been completed yet, so I know that I can get that done. That's really good actually, I like that. And then once we've had a look at all of those, we will then move on to, oh here we go, the catalogue. Here we go, so materials and items, it's all just had a rejig round. it's still pretty much the same layout of everything that you normally would have looked at. Technology, again, pretty much same as it was before. It's just had a little bit of a rejig and a reskin. Building parts, again, bit of a rejig, bit of a reskin, but nothing that we haven't seen already. Collectible knowledge, on the other hand, is slightly different now. So we're going to be able to check out the collectible knowledge from each of the races that we've got. So like, look, the ancient plaques that we can get, and we can read through all of the information and histories of each race. Same again with the Viking, monolith missions that we can do, we'll get all the information and history of that race. Korvax, just for language records for example, it'll show you all the words that we've unlocked, and that's pretty much the same for all three of the races. You've got all of those options, so you're going to get to see that for each race as you complete them through. And then we've got the Atlas tab, which gives us all of the interfaces, words of the Atlas and portal glyphs that we've collected along the way. But the interesting bit I find here, journey records. So this is your journey, and as you go along completing it, from Awakenings right down to the end, it's going to give you the entire story of what you've been doing, right down through to 1616, which is the last mission that you do in the initial journey. You're going to get your base computer archives every time you interact with them along the way. Obviously Dreams of the Deep, which was the mission that we got for going underwater and everything. All the storyline for that's there, so if you want to read back on it, you can do. Starbirth, which is the living ships and everything, we're going to be able to read back on that, all the story and information that we got from that. Trace of Metal, which was the one we did recently with Sentinel Pillars and everything, same again, all the storyline, everything that happened in it, so we can really go back now and sort of look back at what we've done throughout the game and read up on it, so that we've got a better idea of the story. It's a little bit, it makes it a little bit more like cohesive, doesn't it? I like that a lot, because this was a really good storyline, and I would like to go back to them sometimes, especially if I want to sort of relive it a little bit or read through it if I forgot some of the lore, because I do like my lore. And then other history is things that you're going to be able to get from going to abandoned buildings, crashed freighters, graves, boundary failures, submerged relics and sentinel pillars, which are all things that you can find throughout the game. And when you read the panels on them, they all have their own lore about it, which fills in gaps with the main story and also fills in gaps with a lot of the races and things, and also has like its own interesting little stories on the side and things like that, like little subplots from things that have happened. So that's really cool. I think those two are a really good addition, because the lore can be quite confusing at times, and it can be a little bit scattered, and it always was a bit of a mission trying to pin them all together and work out what the storyline was, where everything fit in together. So this is just a big library now of it all. I think that's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, and then obviously last thing we've got is recipes, which hasn't changed much. It's just had a new skin, and look how bad I am at recipes. But yeah, it's had a new skin and everything like that, and it's had a little bit of a rejig, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, catalogue and guides looking good. I do think it's been streamlined. I do think it works. Once we get around the new navigation for it, I think it's going to be quite a bit of fun, that, especially the collectible knowledge. That's the big thing for me. I think that's cool. So the log hasn't really changed at all. You've still got your primary missions at the top that'll appear. You've still got your secondary missions that'll appear at the bottom like that. Obviously anything you pin for your milestones from the catalogue, or anything that you want to complete, is going to appear there still as well. But the big thing, the massive thing, is in options. So general options has stayed the same, nothing's changed there. Video options has stayed the same, nothing changed there. Network, same again, we all know what that's about. Control options, absolutely the same. But the difficulty settings, this is the interesting bit. So we click on difficulty settings, and it'll bring it up like this. So all the presets are at the top, and you can change every single aspect of the game now if you want to. You can absolutely customize this game and tailor it to your style of play. You might want to have it completely relaxed. You might be a builder and you might want to just not have to pay for your parts, but you want to play within the normal game and everything like that, without having to run around and grab all your resources and do all that. You might be a survival nut, you might absolutely love it. You can crank the intensity of all that up to your heart's degree now and really crack on with it. You can just set it to normal standard, which is the vanilla game, and it'll get you into it and everything like that. But the point of this is that there is something for everyone now, and I think we really are going to have some fun with this once we get our heads around it. And it means that we're going to be able to tailor it exactly how we want to play it. I'll just flick through the ones at the top. So the presets are normal, creative, as you can see it changes it up slightly, relaxed, which is a new form of gameplay that I might actually start a new save on just to see what it's like, survival, which cranks the intensity up of everything, and then we're back to normal. But once you start customizing it, it'll save it as your custom one. So we'll just go on to relaxed for now, and we'll start having a look through some of them like this. So survival elements, you're going to be able to work out health shields and hazards and life supports and things, and that's going to affect how they work. Survival difficulty is how good your hazard protection is going to be, how you're able to move about in extreme toxicity and cold and hot and things like that, how much of a challenge the planets are going to be and things like that. Natural resources, again, is going to dictate how much vegetation is on a planet that you're going to be able to harvest, how many minerals and things like that, how hard you want to make it to collect those resources. Sprinting, which is interesting, we're going to be able to turn infinite sprinting on, which is pretty cool. Scanner recharge, very fast down to challenging, so that's going to obviously affect how quickly you can scan things and everything like that, and how quickly it recharges. Damage levels, which I don't know if this is going to be replacing how we used to do it before, where we used to turn player damage off and things like that, or if it's just going to affect how much damage you take when you're in the game. It'd be interesting to see whether or not somebody with their damage levels turned off like this, or none, can actually take damage from other players, or if it just means things in the game. That could be something that we could have a look at. Technology damage, obviously that's going to be any damage your technology takes within your multi-tool or your ship and everything. I wonder if turning it off means going through wormholes and stuff like that and black holes and things is going to not affect it, because I know travelling from galaxy to galaxy at the moment you can trash the hell out of everything, so that might turn that off as well. Death consequences, so you can go right down from losing nothing at all to the standard, which is you have to go pick your grave up, to losing everything or completely losing your save. So obviously there's your permadeath option. Crafting items are going to be able to use now, so you're going to be able to set it so that you can have your fuel use for free if you want, so you're never going to have to buy any more fuel for anything, right up to expensive. Crafting, so this is a good one for all you builders out there that probably don't want to always be in creative mode. You want to be in normal mode, but you actually want to build freely. You're going to be able to change that from the standard having to collect resources to then having to just build for free and not have to worry about it. I'd be very tempted to turn that one on actually if I was in a normal mode, because I don't like having to gather the resources, but I don't always want to have all of the best builds that I do in creative mode. So purchases again, we're going to be able to either pick everything up for free if we want to, or rack it right to the top and make it expensive. Goods availability, now I'm assuming that this is going to affect rare items that are available in places to pick up, or whether it's going to mean that there's more resources of each one in the space station. I'm not sure, but it'd be interesting to see what that one is. And then the inventory stack limits. Now it's set to standard while it's in relaxed, but obviously look, you're going to be able to limit and restrict and make it really harsh, the amount that you can carry. Again, that's going to be all down to how you want the experience of the game to be. Do you want it to be difficult and a survival challenge? Do you want it to be easy? It's again tailored for your strengths and your likes, which I think is pretty cool. Combat settings, so the enemy strength, weak to challenging. The on foot combat, that's going to be, is there going to be any, or is it going to be minimal, which I guess is what it's set to normally in the game, standard, and then how hostile everything's going to be. So are those animals on the planets, monstrosities and sentinels, are they going to come for you on every planet, or are you going to set it so they never bother you again? Same again with space combat, that it's going to be to do with pirates again, same idea. Like, are they going to bother you at all, or do you want to set it so that it's an absolute bloody dogfight while you're up there every time you're in space, which actually could be pretty fun because I quite like fighting in space. And then the creatures of the planet, whether or not they're going to be passive, defensive, or whether you want to turn the predators on, which is pretty cool. Ease of use, sorry. Inventory transfer range. Now this is interesting. You're going to be able to transfer obviously from your ship to your exosuit, from your exosuit to your freighter, and you can change that to whether it's going to be nearby or infinite. Hyperdrive system access, so unrestricted hyperdrive, or you can have a specialized hyperdrive. Now I'm not too sure what this one means. The setting toggles whether the hyperdrive can warp to red, green and blue star systems. Right, okay. So this is going to mean whether or not you want to use the specialized things that you need to go to, like, you know, like you get your cadmium drive and everything like that, so you can travel to different systems. Or if you want to turn that off completely and from the get-go be able to travel freely to any star system that you want. Now that's interesting again. Base power, this is a good one, especially if you find the perfect spot to build a base and you can't find power anywhere, or it's so far away that you're going to have to mess about. You can turn the base power on for free now, so you're going to be able to put as many lights down, as many different parts as you want without ever having to worry about powering them, which again, pretty cool. It means that most of you builders out there can just sort of like skip that bit now, stay within the normal mode and be able to just build awesome bases completely unrestricted without having to be in creative mode. And reputation and standing gain is the last one here, so obviously you can very speedily build your reputation with the different races, or you can make it a little bit more of a challenge for yourself. Now I think that is pretty cool. That is a real good way of working out how exactly you want to do it, and I'm very impressed that Hello Games has done that, tailored and customed to everything that you want it to be. And there you go. Once you've had a fiddle around with it, it'll ask you whether or not you want to apply the difficulty changes or discard them. And then obviously we've got the save data again and everything like that, and you can now rename current saves. So one of the things you're going to be able to do is change the name of your save, so when it appears at the beginning it's going to be whatever name you want it to be, which is going to make it easier to identify all the different saves that we've got going on. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much everything. I think that's quite impressive. We're going to have a wander around and check out some of the new things like that, but I think for now we're going to leave it there. You guys check it out, let me know in the comments what you think and everything like that, and we're going to get our heads stuck into seeing how this works out and how this plays. Yeah, there you go. 4.0 quality of life, absolutely brilliant. I think a few people might be a little bit disappointed by it because it's got no content update or anything like that, but then I think every now and again it's good to streamline it and everything, especially with all the people that are going to be coming on board with Switch and everything like that. I would be interested to see how often it saves on the auto save features and things like that that have come into it. So I'll be playing around with it for the next couple of days and seeing what I can get out of it. But let me know, guys. I'd be interested to see what you think. And for now, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. It was good to see you all. Have fun with the new update, and we will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Thank you very much for watching the video, everybody. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider giving the channel a like and a subscribe. Hit the bell notification as well to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. We really appreciate those likes and subscribe, guys. They keep us going. Thank you so much. We just want to take a second to say thank you to our Creative Club members and also our Creative Club graduates that you can see on the screen now. You guys are rock and rollers. Thank you so much. If you want to join the membership, hit the button below, come over and join the members club with us. Every single member will get a free Adventures of Murray comic and all sorts of other little bits and bobs that we throw in there as well, so it's really worth it, guys. But if you want to support the channel, like it, subscribe it, don't skip the ads. You're really helping us out. We appreciate every single last one of you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. So for now, take care, guys. We'll see you soon.